Yes, 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 yes. 1 2 1 2. BMC Radio. We are live. We are live here. This is the Nakama Waves radio show with myself, DJ Tigas, and we're gonna get things starting right now. Yes. BMC Radio. My name is Tigas, and we are live now here from Brixton, London. This is the show called Dinakama Waves, and everyone is welcome. You are listening now, DJ Dolores. Yes. Welcome everyone. Thanks for joining. If you are on Mixcloud, you can join the chat and we can talk. Or if you are my friend, you can just message on our WhatsApp and I will reply. Big up Gary, thanks for tuning in. We are listening now to some DJ Dolores.
Salvo sou, salvo serei. Salvo fui, salvo sou, salvo serei. Salvo fui, salvo sou, salvo serei. Salvo fui, salvo.
Yes. Mr. Don. Ciao bello.
Basta carregar consigo e tomar por devoção e rezar toda sexta-feira. 3 Pai Nosso, 3 Ave Maria, 3 Glória ao Pai e oferecer a meu padrinho Cício, a Nossa Senhora e a São Francisco que diz: pra que é que serve esta oração? É para evitar fome, peste, guerra e morte repentina. Livrar-se do feiticeiro, do catimbozeiro, do mal vizinho, que é o pior satanás que existe na face da terra. graça, traz a boca, deixa aqui.
First you see something you like, an X that marks the spot, on a quest to find what you have not got. You say I hide away, far away, far away, far away, yeah. But an exit marks the spot. I know you feel, know you feel, know you feel, like treasure. You think I need you, but you really need I, like treasure. I know you feel, know you feel, know you feel, like treasure. You want me to want you just as you want I, like treasure. So you dig holes in my mind to see what you can find, then hold to the light what you don't understand. You tell me that I'm lost. How can that be when you crossed off the world to find me? I will not be a reflection of your reality. No, 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 no. I know you feel, know you feel, know you feel, like treasure. You think I need you, but you really need I, like treasure. I know you feel, know you feel, know you feel, like treasure. You want me to want you just as you want I, like treasure. I was not the started that said I needed to be found. I was not the started that said I needed to be found. I was not the started that said I needed to be found. I was not the started that said I needed to be found.
Yes, yes, BMC Radio. Welcome along. My name is Tigas. I am from Brazil and I'm here at BMC Radio every other week. We play Brazilian tunes, we play tunes from all around the world. And today we have a very special show ahead of us. We're gonna have here with us in the studio live Chelsea and Michelle. We're gonna be talking about Nakauma, we're gonna be talk about poetry, we're gonna be talk about music. So yeah, they're gonna join me here from 7 to 8 p.m. Aos brasileiros conectados. Cheese! Lucas Demas. Muito obrigado por sintonizar, e a todos os Brazilians in a house. Sempre um prazer enorme ter vocês por perto. Estamos escutando agora Zara McFarlane. Brownswood record was released 2020. And next up is gonna be some Afro groove. Are you ready for that? Yes. We got Brazilians in the house today. Big up DJ Amaral for tuning in. And if you are arriving now, this is the show called The Nakama Waves. Nakama Collective. We are here representing Nakama Collective. Nakama Collective, if you don't know, is a collective from Brazil. If you see the mask here, this is our logo. And we've been in the road for 14 years. Next year is gonna be 15 years in the making. How cool is that? I'm very happy, to be part of it, to be hosting this show called The Nakama Waves every other week here at BMC Radio every Tuesday. And yeah, massive pleasure. Thanks everyone for tuning in. Share the links, invite your friends. And we got now some Afrobeat, and going forward, next tune, I'm gonna play some music from Brazil, north of Brazil. So yeah, stay tuned here with us. Yes. Salve pro mano Eric, salve pro mano Elton, tomando uma e tars. Big up! Yes, my people, beautiful people. In case you're wondering, this is DJ Dolores, and the album is called Aparelhagem, and the tune is called Ciranda da Madrugada. Yes, amazing, isn't it? By the voice of Izar. So yeah, stay tuned here, BMC Radio. This is the show called Dina Calma Waves. Let's surf the waves all together. Thanks for everyone who is listening. You know, you are the reason why we're here at BMC Radio. Much love. Stay tuned. We are here until 8 p.m. UK time. Yes, people. Double T in a house. Carol. Welcome along. We are listening now, the one and only. A remix of Afterclap. We're gonna be here in September doing a party.
bola, bola, toca bumbo e comemora. Meu baião pega na sola e faz tremer seu coração. Chora sanfona, brinca, povo, bate palma, vamos celebrar o comandante Lampião. É bola, bola, toca bumbo e comemora. Meu baião pega na sola e faz tremer seu coração. Chora sanfona, brinca, povo, bate palma, vamos celebrar o comandante Lampião. É bola, bola, toca bumbo e comemora. Meu baião pega na sola e faz tremer seu coração. Chora sanfona, brinca, povo, bate palma, vamos celebrar o comandante Lampião. A alvorada renunciou, a chuva veio, xique-xique tá em flor. Traz a fogueira, Dona Maria Bonita, de gibão carabina. A lua cheia apareceu, liga
Yes, everyone. Tigas here. We are 2 days away from We Out Here Festival, and I got here with me 2 records of some of their headlines on the main stage. Simandi and Ezra Collective, 2 bands I really like. So I'm gonna play next some Ezra Collective. If you don't know Ezra Collective, you should know. So stay tuned here at BMC Radio. This is the show called Dinakama Waves with myself, DJ Tigas. And very soon, in half an hour, I will have here with me Chelsea and Michelle. You're gonna be enjoying with us another hour of interviews and talks and poetry and live performance. And this is what Dinakama Waves is about, isn't it? Yes, let's enjoy some Ezra Collective in the house.
Out in the street, they call it Ezra.
got some sort of wizard on the keyboard. Yes. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, senhoras e senhores, John Armon Jones on keys, and this is Ezra Collective, sorry. And my guests are here already, Charles and Michelle. They are here outside. They're gonna join me in 15 minutes, so stay tuned. BMC Radio, na Calma Waves. Yes, we got more people in the house now. We are all enjoying the British summertime here. Very hot day today in London. Yes, everyone. We are listening now some Ezra Collective. As I said earlier, they're gonna be headlining We Out Here Festival in 2 days, from Thursday to Monday. So yeah, and we have here Chelsea and Michelle. They are here for the second part of the show. They're gonna be joining us. I mean, they are here already. They're not gonna be joining us. So yeah, welcome. We're gonna play one more tune, and then after they're gonna take over the show called the Nakama Waves. Yes, people, we are live from Brixton, London. It is now 6:56 British summertime. Don't forget about it. I don't know where is the sun, but anyway. This is the show called Dinakama Waves. My name is Tigas. I have here now Chelsea and Michelle. They're gonna, take over the second hour of the show. So welcome, Chelsea. Welcome, Michelle. It's a really big pleasure to have you down. And
thank you.
Yes. And yeah, do your thing now. I'm so happy to have you here. There was my first part. I played a lot of world music today. Let's say I played some UK jazz, Afrobeat, Brazilian music, of course. And yeah, so welcome along.
Thank you, Tiago.
Thank you so
I'm
much.
gonna let's swap those.
Let's swap.
And then there we go.
Amazing.
Yeah, thank you for the first hour, Tiago.
Yeah.
Beautiful music. So everyone who's watching, thank you so much for tuning in to the second hour. Here we have Michelle. Michelle, would you like to pronounce your full name? Because you have a very cool name.
Michelle van der Bliek.
Isn't that a cool name?
Thank you very much. It is from Holland. You got that right. Yeah. Well spotted. Sometimes people think it's German, but no, that would be like Von, I think.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
I love your name.
Thanks.
Thank you so much for being here.
Yeah,
This
so
is
exciting.
really cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we have a very special little episode, I guess we call it, in store for us. But first, Michelle, do you want to tell everyone who you are, what you do?
Yeah, sure. I'm an actor and a songwriter, originally from Los Angeles. And I moved to the UK to pursue acting away from Los Angeles, which a lot of people are confused by, but it makes sense in my head. Yeah, and I'm just pursuing all the creative things that I want to do right now in London. And we met in a primary school, both as teaching assistants. Yeah. Was that a year ago? Or a bit longer?
It must be more, yeah.
Yeah.
It must be longer.
2 years.
Yeah, perhaps coming up to 2 years.
Yeah.
So you're from LA and you went to university in Scotland, is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
In Glasgow.
How did you find that?
It was amazing. It was at a arts university called the Royal Conservatoire of Scotland, and I was able to pursue musical theatre, but at the same time instruments, and the way that they approached arts was very, find your own route, and I really loved that, which I think some arts universities can kind of veer away from, so it was really nice to have that experience. Yeah,
that is nice. I have a similar background to Michelle in that I went to university to do acting, and when I was auditioning for different universities, I had the same experience. Like, there were some universities that were just felt quite stifling in creativity. And then there was other universities where it was really more like, we want unique people. We want people who haven't been molded into this box already even. Yeah. So you can thrive in your own kind of way. So that stuck out to me also.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I think I got really lucky. I knew it was the place that I wanted to go to as soon as I, when you watch the videos online of what the university's like. So yeah, it was amazing. It was an amazing experience. And moving away from home at 18 was challenging. Yeah. Moving across the world. Yeah. And meeting completely different new people, and the culture was very different, but yeah, I mean, I think I've grown so much because of it.
Oh.
Yeah.
And you obviously like it because you're still here.
I know. I know. Yeah.
So then you moved on to London.
Yeah. I think originally I planned to move to New York.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yeah,
that would have been cool.
It would have been cool. Yeah. I think it just happened that, the place that you go to university is where all your connections are and where all your friends are, and it just made sense to stay and see what it was like. And I think London is an amazing place for so many different types of artists. I'm always so surprised by how many different types of artists you find. Anyway, one of the places that I work right now, Jackson's Lane, that's like primarily circus theater.
Really?
So yeah,
That's so cool.
So it's like a completely different world, but it's still within the arts.
Yeah. Do you get to see any of it? Oh, how's that?
Just do like a touch. Yeah, try it.
A little wiggle. A wiggle, wiggle. We can share. Do you wanna? Yeah, we can share. Please carry on.
What was I saying? Yeah. It's been amazing to meet people from that kind of field, and you know, because we studied dance in my university, which is obviously like using your body to express yourself in a completely different way. But with circus, you know, it's also this physical movement, but it's like entirely different, and you can do comedy and okay.
Thank you. Oh, I think it might be gone again. It's okay.
You can share.
Yeah. Thank you. So I was going to, what else was I going to ask? I'm all frazzled now. So then you moved to London. So what have you been up to since you've been here? Because every time I see you, you've got an exciting story. You've been to an audition or something's going on. Tell us a little about your life, because I think to you, you're so accustomed to your life. You probably think it's so normal and stuff, but to a lot of people listening who aren't actors and aren't in this world, it's very interesting.
Yeah. And I think even, you know, because you studied acting as well, but the world of theatre and musical theatre, which is what I studied, is like on a completely other wavelength, isn't it? Yeah, it's been exciting, but like mad, because with theatre, you know, you have to prepare yourself to always have an audition, like the next week if it springs up. So I think the past couple of years has been like finding out how I can do that alongside, you know, I've worked some jobs in charities this year, and I've really loved that, getting to know the charity sector and working with kids and things like that. So seeing how I can kind of merge the two. Yeah, so it's been exciting, and I do feel like every time I see you, I'm doing something else. So it's kind of one of those, like, just see what happens, you know? Yeah, and like finding where you fit within the creative industry and like what really makes you happy. Because I feel like, you know, that's why we choose to do it, because it makes us happy. And that's been an interesting journey as well, like moving towards that. Yeah.
Yeah, I really relate to the part about, you know, like as you get older, you can start to feel like, you know, perhaps you need more security and you need more money and things like that. And then it can kind of put your arts things on hold, which would be the biggest shame to creatives like us, because we have so many gifts to give to the world that should be as worthy as, you know, like a paid job of, I don't know what people do out there, but it should be, you know, equally as important. So it's hard, but also I was reading something the other day about, you know, when you have to work full time and you are a creative, it can feel really shitty, because you might know people who they just do their art full time. They don't have to squeeze it in at the end of the day, or, you know, they might not feel like really tired and they just can't get around to it. They get to do it full time, which is amazing and probably anyone's goal. But there can be also some good things about working full time, because you get to see the world, you know, and things that inspire us. And I think as well, as an artist, our kind of words and our what we want to power, it has to come from somewhere. And I think like having a bit of struggle can almost be good, you know. You have to like battle things to be able to then write about it and talk about it. And so I'm trying to also see it as a positive, but it can be hard. Yeah, definitely. So from here, because I know recently you've been in the acting world and you've been having auditions and things like that, and we'll talk more about that, because I think we're both quite strongly opinionated on the auditioning world. But recently I've been hearing a lot more music from you, which is really exciting. Yeah. Would you like to tell us about it?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I've started songwriting again properly this year, which has been really, really exciting. You know, properly putting it all together for gigs and things and having sets, and that's so exciting because it was a big part of my life before I went to Scotland, and then going into acting I kind of put it on hold a bit, but finding that in myself has been just amazing, and being able to put myself into writing again, you know. Yeah, I forgot to tell you, because I know you normally host poets here, don't you? Yeah. Well, did you know that I was in a slam poetry team in high school? Yeah.
I did not know
Yeah, I was.
Really?
Yeah, for a good 2 years.
Well, this would explain your songwriting, because your songwriting is very beautiful.
Thank you. Yeah. I think it comes from it. It was a bit cringy back then, but it gave way.
We have to go through that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Was that whilst you were back home in LA?
Yeah.
Then I have a question for you. How do you find the poetry kind of scene over there? I know you were younger, but how is it over there in comparison to here?
I mean, that was, I think, a different scene than the poetry scene I've been with here, with, you know, Nkama. And when I was doing that in high school, it was more of like it was a big competition that happened in Los Angeles that brought together so many different schools. And so I was on I was on a team in high school, and we worked on the poems really hard. Really? Yeah. Aww. And then we performed them, and it was so scary. Yeah. It was like, you know, imagine being like 15 and writing this thing. It is so vulnerable, like, that comes from the deepest part of you. And then they scored it. Right, because it was a competition, obviously. Yeah. So you do your poem, and then they would be like, that was an 8, that was a 7, you know? That's very harsh. Which is harsh, yeah. Yeah, I remember I got an 8 on one, so I was super proud. Good. That was, yeah.
Whatever good is, I guess.
Exactly, yeah. Yeah, and I'm trying to find my way back into actual poetry again as well.
Yeah. You should. Yeah, it's really big, and there's so much support as well, like within the communities. There's so much support, and people often like buddy up even. So then, you know, if they have some poetry, they'll send it to their buddy, and then they will give them some feedback on it. And there is a lot of room for that. And I feel like it's such a raw expression as well, just of being a human, the human experience, and just expressing whatever you feel inside or what you've seen on the outside and just putting it into words. I think it's so beautiful, and it's like one of the most simple human things, I think, that we can do. And yeah, that definitely explains your songwriting, because your songwriting is really beautiful. Let's talk about some of your songwriting, because today we have a song that you're going to play for us. Is this the first time it's being played kind of officially?
Yes. Yes.
Tell us about it.
Well, it's called Back to Here, and I wrote it maybe a month ago, and I've been working on this demo with Rob, my boyfriend, if he's watching, this weekend, and just piecing together what we think the soundscape to it should sound like. But yeah, I love this song. I feel like it really speaks to like an inner child part of me that kind of always yearns to go back to a place that I'm not exactly sure what it is or where it is. I think for me, like, nature is always a common theme for that kind of feeling. So there's a lot of nature references in it. But I hope that it inspires a feeling of like nostalgia and warmth and wanting to go back to that. But yeah.
That's nice. To be honest, that's very you as a person. I feel very warm and nurturing and homely. But we're not going to play it yet because it's too good. We're going to save it. We're only just beginning. Yeah, stay tuned. How about we play some music? Yeah, let's have a little break. But stick around and we're going to find out more about Michelle.
Yes, yes. We are live. We do things live. You know. Last time, the guest Timothy, she brought a tune on a memory stick, and the memory stick didn't work. So they decided to play live here. So they did. Anyway, stay tuned. Don't go anywhere.
Hello.
Hello.
We are back. We are double mic'd.
Yes, we are.
We're good to go.
So good.
Thank you everyone who's tuned in and who's still listening. We have some really exciting things coming up. We have a new song by Michelle.
Yes.
And we may even have a little bit of live singing.
Yeah, I think that would be really nice.
I think it would be really special. We would be very lucky. So I thought we could carry on the conversation
Yeah.
about kind of the auditioning process and your experience of finding, I guess, a job in musical theatre.
Mm-hmm.
And I know that musical theatre is very different to theatre, you know. I think in theatre, pure acting, there perhaps can be some more room to jiggle a little bit.
Yeah.
But I don't really know anything about musical theatre.
Yeah, I mean, I think my experience of musical theatre and theatre was so different from how I envisioned it as a high schooler wanting to go into it. I mean, I guess that's true for anything, isn't it? But yeah, there are amazing things about it, and then there are some things that I really think should change.
Yeah.
I mean, I think there are so many incredible shows on right now, you know, and people doing such fantastic work. And so many of my classmates have gone on to do some shows that are some really brilliant pieces of work and some amazing acting. And so it's an interesting industry that, you know, if you suit it, then you really suit it down to a T. But I think you do need to suit it to be happy in it.
That's
Does that make sense?
It does. So do you feel like perhaps you aren't, you know, typically the I don't know what they want, the perfect, you know, musical theatre girl?
Yeah.
And like you're being kind of shaped, or?
Yeah, I mean, it, you know, the university that I went to was such an incredibly nurturing space where we really could express ourselves fully in so many different forms, and we felt listened to, and you know, even within our own parts and who we were, we felt like we could shape it. And I found the the real world of musical theatre to be a little bit different to that, especially when you're talking about the really like commercial side of things. So the big West End things, and like cruises and things like that. I think, you know, you've got smaller fringe theatre, which like in the States as well, and I think is true here for both musical theatre and straight acting or no singing. I think that can be so creative.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's really been eye-opening. Just going to these auditions for things like cruises, and it's kind of like a machine.
Yeah.
It's like
it
a machine.
sounds controversial because obviously, you know, you imagine it's all things creativity and just expressing yourself.
Yeah.
But really, you're kind of expressing one mind, I guess, one idea of.
You are.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I have so many thoughts on this. I feel like I need to write a book about this. But I really wish that artists like own creativity was valued more within this space, because, you know, you've got so many people that just have such amazing ideas, and yet I at least felt like I really needed to conform inside this incredibly tiny box, which is just kind of unrealistic, especially if you feel like you yourself are like a creative person. Forcing yourself to fit into this tiny box can be really frustrating sometimes. And and
I imagine quite demotivating, especially when you know you're good. You know, like I know you especially are very good, and so then it can be unheartening and demotivating when it's just like no, you know.
Yeah, it's weird because I feel like, you know, me being a songwriter and having that part of myself versus musical theatre that I've found is so much about how high can you sing? Can you sing it exactly perfectly? Can you step this way exactly perfectly? Can you look perfect while you do it, you know? And like, I think the part of me that's so creative that did poetry and songwrites and things like that was kind of fighting that feeling. Like, no, I really feel like it should be this way. Like, this is how I want to do it. But, you know, it's so, as well, like, it's such a demanding industry, especially when you're trying to compete for the top. That, like, you know, there's this expectation that you're on amazing form all the time. Like, you have an amazing fitness. You can do anything. You can sing anything, any type of style. And so when you're putting yourself through that, like hours and hours every single week to try to meet this goal, then there's not like a lot of time for creativity. And I've found that hard the past few years, like trying to balance. And I think I pushed away the creative side, and it's just felt so nice to get back into that this year. Like, I can't even, it's just been so nice.
That is really nice.
It's just felt so true. You know?
Because we often talk about how I believe it's our uniqueness, our flaws, our things that aren't perfect that make so much beauty. You know, like how often do people are creating something and they make a mistake, and then that mistake actually turns out to be one of the best features of the whole thing, you know. Unscripted, unthought of, just things, spontaneous things, life things that happen can make so much beauty. And 100%. They're definitely missing out on that being so,
I think so,
in a box.
They are. And, you know, like within musical theatre, I mean, just like any singer from the past 100 years that was really popular, none of them sound perfect. And like, that's the good thing about it. Like, they have grit and they have soul and they have different sounds. I mean, like, Bernadette Peters within musical theatre, she wouldn't get into a drama school right now because she probably couldn't sing all these songs, but, you know, everybody holds her as one of the best because she's so unique. And I think that's true within regular music as well. Like, people want to listen to different sounds and different, you know. experiences.
Yeah. Not everything is perfect and shiny and
Yeah.
you know, no wrinkles, no creases.
Yeah. I think that's boring.
Yeah, me too. Well, me too. And to be honest, I'm not a huge musical theatre fan.
That's fair.
And that is mostly down to this, you know, just things. I love things that are raw. That's why I fell in love with poetry and going to poetry events, because you can go wrong. I love that. When someone goes wrong, I love it.
And it's a supportive environment. You know, you feel the love.
It's when magic happens, you know, when you're on the spot, or when you make something that's a bit weird and you think, is anyone going to like this? And then you remember, actually, it doesn't matter if anyone else likes it. I like it. And then because of that, people do like it, you know?
Yeah.
So yeah, I think musical theatre perhaps is a bit behind.
Yeah,
I think say.
I would say so.
Yeah, and obviously not all. It doesn't cover all of it. Like what was the show? It was quite like revolutionary. It was like rapping. Hamilton. Yeah, like that was quite good. I think.
Yeah. That, I mean, I think shows always start out as something interesting, a new concept, especially with the first people that do it. Like, because they're creating something new, and so the differences are celebrated. But then it's just once you get into the cycle of hiring new people who you want to do exactly the thing that the last person did.
Interesting.
Then it's like it's less about what can you bring to the role, really, and it's how can you fit into this thing that we need you to be.
Yeah.
You know, and that's not really what I think some other people as well would see as being creative or want to see as creative. Yeah.
It's very finicky, isn't it? Just, and also I feel I have to point out that, you know, we feel this way as white women, you know, pretty white women, and you're struggling, you know, with feeling like you're being put in a box, and I can't imagine what it's like for people who are underrepresented to even find a role to like audition for.
I know, yeah. I mean, it's one thing to say, you know, we're struggling because of the stereotypes placed upon us, but I know that for people of color, for people who aren't straight, like I've seen in audition things that it can be worse, and it needs to change. Yeah, because it can be such an incredibly diverse art form. If people would just allow for it, you know,
for sure. And I think often, like, I remember when I was like, I'm going to be an actor. Everyone's like, you've got to have a thick skin. That's like what everyone would say, as if to say, you know, you're going to get a lot of no's, but you just have to brush it off.
Yeah,
and that's okay. You know, being told no is fine. But when it's like, because you're not perfect, because you're not my vision of what perfect is in this case, it's a no. Like, that's a different, it's, I don't know, I think it's
definitely it can be stifling. I think I think I've gotten used to getting no's. I think it's something that over time you get used to, but then when you do have experiences like here where you get to like show your creativity, you're like, oh yeah, this is
who I am, this is why because that's a big one, isn't it? People's why is like, why do you do this? Why do you carry on? Why do you push so hard? Why what's your why? When I went to university, the first lecture we had was, everyone in this room, you need to find your why, because it's going to get tough, and when it gets tough, you need to remember, why am I doing this? So everyone needs to have a why. I at the time, I think I was just like, I don't want a normal life. I come from a very small town where you're either gonna just, I don't know, probably be a teacher or probably just work in a shop or something, and I just didn't want a normal life. I don't want to get bored, because I'm very aware that we have one life, and I just never want to be bored. I just want to have fun. So my why was just like, don't have an office job. That was it. What would your why be?
I also get that of like always wanting to experience new things. And I think that's part of why acting is so tempting. It's because, you know, like each role is something completely different.
You can be anyone.
You can do anything. And that's so cool.
I love that. It's really cool.
Like, and you know, that's what's keeping me in it. I think. Just that excitement. Even just doing a self-tape where, you know, you're in some fantasy series as like a witch or something.
Yeah.
It's just so fun.
Yeah.
Like even that is so rewarding. Yeah.
I think that the children in us are very alive. They like to play.
Yeah, 100%.
But now you're really, really enjoying the creativity that you're being able to have with songwriting and the music as well. So you're involved in making the music. I know Rob, your partner.
Yeah.
But you kind of like directing him on it.
Well, so he's in a band as well. He's got a band, which is pretty cool. So
what's his band?
We're
called?
very. I don't think they have a name yet.
I wanted to give them a shout
to get
out.
a name. But yeah, they're amazing. Yeah, they're really good. We've got quite different styles of music that we like doing. His is more like, the Smiths, The Cure, which I like as well, but I think I'm more on the like folky, rocky.
It would be a
side of
nice middle
things.
ground.
Yeah. I've loved like getting to work with him and like sing with him. At the gigs that we've done, he plays guitar for me, and it's just really nice,
It's really sweet. And because obviously, you're in love, I feel like you can read each other's minds a little bit better than perhaps like if you just had a musician. Because I find that like
100%.
with Theo, and if I want something, he gets it,
Yeah, Rob like can read my mind, which is so good because I always manage to, in my songs, make something really weird happen. Like there'll be, I love that. He doesn't, he has to figure it out how to work it.
Like
with the
technically,
guitar. So like sometimes I'll just like change key and not realize that I've changed key, or like change like time signature for one bar, which is what happened with this song. So we had to figure out what to do with that. But he just like, he can read my mind and see the vibe, and it's it's exciting.
Well, I wondered if you feel like it's the right moment perhaps to sing us something. We've been hearing a lot about your music, a lot about your lyrics. Do you feel like it's a good time?
Yeah, I can sing a bit of a new one. Let me just get the words.
I should probably mention in September for our World Words poetry show, which this time is actually a theatre edition, Michelle is going to be performing for us. So having her today here is a bit of a sneak peek for what could come in September.
Definitely. I'm so excited for that.
Yeah,
I can't wait. Yeah. I have to start thinking about the set and things.
Yeah.
It's exciting.
It's really exciting.
Yeah. So this song that I have is called Saltwater Tears. And I think it kind of relates to what we've been talking about, like finding your why, and like, I don't know, also kind of saying like a screw you to the people who like want to change who you are and want to kind of stifle who you are a bit. So writing this was really like cathartic.
Yeah, it sounds empowering.
Yeah. Shall I just go
in your own time, your own time.
Okay, nice. Okay. My kind of honey is a riptide. It flows through the valley of my damned heart. It wanders and wanders, it slips itself under till you're halfway gone. My kind of honey is a valley. It waits for me, and this is a mountain stream. It plunges me under, and it makes me wonder if I'm halfway gone. And I know that you know that I want you bad, but how can I live with that if I can't control it? How can I live when I give all I've got to give? These saltwater tears won't flow for you anymore. That was a little sneak peek.
Oh my gosh, that was amazing.
Thank you.
I love your style so much. You know I do. I love it so much.
You.
You're like the girl I wanted to be when I was little.
Stop.
When you're a little girl, you're like, I'm gonna be a singer. I'm gonna sound so beautiful.
I'm sure you still could be.
Yeah, she has a powerful voice, doesn't she? Yeah.
I love singing that kind of style, like rock. Yeah, it's really fun.
It sounded like kind of country as well.
Yeah, definitely. I was really inspired by this band that Rob and I saw when we were in Washington D.C. a couple months ago called Upstate. And they were just like this band of I think like 8 to 10 people, so a lot of people on the stage with all different types of instruments and voices, like a double bass and like a violin, and it was just, and then you had like 3 voices in harmony, and I love that style. It's like bringing in the country.
It makes me cry.
Yeah,
Stuff that is very powerful, and there's like lots of humans involved. I don't know why. It just really gets me.
Yeah, me
and like
too.
it just brings out emotion, and then I just end up crying.
Same. Yeah, well, you should check that band out.
Yeah, I will.
Upstate.
Yeah.
They're great. Yeah.
That was amazing,
Thank
Michelle.
you.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
I
I feel to sing just a cappella like that as well. It's so incredible.
It's the musical theatre. I'm used to it now.
They've whipped you into shape. Now you can sing anywhere.
So true. It's so fun though. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, shall we listen to some music for a little break? Yeah. Let's have a look at what we've got. And then we'll have another little chat. And then we're going to listen to your song.
Amazing.
I'm so excited. Really excited.
This time around, I just really want to go jazz.
Yeah.
Jazz, jazz, but I'm sure, everybody would think that I'm going to be playing jazz like the Americans.
Mm-hmm.
No.
Nah.
I'm playing jazz my way.
Yeah. Koji Radical. Ezra Collective. Yeah. We know they don't do it like this. They know we know they don't do it like this. Got sound, but it ain't like this. Got jazz, but I know it ain't nothing like this. Make I go stupid. Got my own mind, make I go use it. Spread love and put the love into the music. I don't want no confusion. Got my own drive, make I go move it. You don't wanna see a man lose it. Been me, still me, been proven. I don't want no confusion. Me and mine been fed up with losing. Self in the world with a picking and choosing. Revolution will be televised worldwide, drown in a wave I'm frozen. Feel good, but I'm doing improvement. Build a kingdom, make I go moving. I don't want no confusion. Been me, still me, been proven. Every day I go think for myself, I do. Do me, I do. Cause I wouldn't be me if I did it like you. I know the world is cold as school. Got a thick skin on me like a polar suit. Darkest fruit, the sweetest juice. Done with the ties with the armor suit. Just another day with the gang. The family come first, we plot and we plan. I couldn't tell you where my spirit was at. Reflections on the wall, couldn't mirror me back. But I been there, done that, done with it. Had to bust a U-turn while the world keeps spinning. Big bag looking like a ransom. Ezra Collective, can the bag get some?
Got some good
Nice.
tips there from DJ Tigas.
The setup is very cool.
Yeah, it's very, very nice in here.
Amazing.
Yeah. So we're going to talk a little bit about our inspirations. What kind of keeps us motivated, what keeps us going, why we even wanted to do it in the first place. So what's your inspirations for theatre, music, dance?
Yeah, I think it changes so often.
Does it?
Like, yeah, I think like a lot of people, like I'll just find an obsession that I'll just listen to forever, and then I'll get sick of it, and then I'll find something else. This year, I've recently really gotten into the Talking Heads. The Talking Heads, yeah.
What's that?
They're a band from America. From, oh my God, is it the 1980s?
Oh.
Yeah. They're just so funky and groovy. And they're kind of theatrical. So like, they've got a theater show that they put on with songs from their album.
Oh, fun.
And you need to look it up. It's so funny. Like, and they just do like the wackiest dance moves, and like, they're just, it's so fun, and like it is theatrical. So I love like how they do that. Like they blend, acting and kind of being strange with art. I just love artists who like push the boundaries a bit, and I think they definitely do that.
So your inspirations come from other artists.
Yeah, definitely. I think an artist can, bring you like into a world that you wouldn't have known otherwise. I mean, like, Jacob Collier, have you heard of him?
No.
Oh, okay, that's fine. I mean, people can sometimes make fun of his music because it's a lot. So he's like a prodigy in music. So he like combines all of these different styles in one thing, and it can be a lot to listen to. But because of the way that he knows about theory and instruments and can play anything, he can create these like amazing landscapes of sound to just like listen to. And like,
I've heard of this person actually.
Yeah.
Who have I heard that from?
I don't know. I think he's along the lines of jazz. Have you heard of him, Tiago? No? Okay. He's pretty cool. You should check him out.
I feel like you would know him.
Jacob Collier? No? Okay.
Interesting. There's one for you.
Yeah. Yeah, he's pretty cool. I can't listen to him for more than like 10 minutes just because of how like intense it is, and like the songs really go all over the place.
Really?
But yeah, but then like you'll have these moments where it's like, oh my God, this song is like changing the way I see the world.
Really?
So it's, yeah.
Is there lyrics in his music, or it's just...
Yeah, there are lyrics. And then sometimes it's just crazy jazz.
Wow.
So...
Oh, I'm going to listen to that. That sounds
you
very
should,
intriguing.
Yeah. So that was a cool find in university. Yeah. Artists like Jacob Collier. And I love... artists from the 60s and 70s, like Woodstock era type music. So I was brought up on the Beatles by my dad, if he's listening. So I love older music, but finding artists like Joni Mitchell and Carole King and that kind of sound, when, maybe production quality wasn't as amazing as it is now, but the rawness of what they're singing and their voice, it just like translates no matter what time you're listening. And yeah, I love that.
That's very nice. And the same for your acting, and what inspires you for that?
Acting, I think it
could still be the same, couldn't it?
I think it's quite the same. Yeah, like different performances that I see.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm a big like fantasy nerd. So getting to see like the new Game of Thrones and the new Lord of the Rings series that have come out, where women and people of color have had more prominent roles and have actually had roles, first of all, and there's more than 2 women on the screen, has just been really nice, and seeing all these complex characters come out. So that's been really inspiring this year, and just like seeing live theater. I mean, like, you know, people surprise you all the time with what they bring to a part.
That's true. I think every time I see some theatre, even if it's rubbish, I feel inspired.
Yeah.
Because I either think if it's rubbish, I'm like, I can do that better. And then I feel inspired, like I'm going to do it. Or if it's really good, I'm like, wow, like I want to be like that.
Yeah.
And I think especially when you see something that when you think to yourself, I could actually do that. Like, you're like, oh, I could do that. No, wait. I could actually do that. That's when I think it's really inspiring.
Yeah.
And I feel very motivated.
Yeah.
When I see something that is really cool and it really speaks to me, and then I think to myself, I could actually do that. Yeah. That's when I'm like, okay.
100%.
And then I get going a little bit.
Yeah. That guy thought we were a bar.
A guy came to the window and he was like, yeah, you know, a bar.
That's so funny. Maybe we should turn into one. Yeah, I definitely relate to that as well. Like seeing people your own age who are like pushing the boundaries so much. Yeah. Like changing the scene. Yeah. It's been amazing. I mean, one thing that I've loved in theater in New York that I've seen coming over here as well is like people's body types being more well represented on stage. Yeah. You know, with some shows, women being an actual like normal body size, seeing that representation has been amazing. So yeah, that's very inspiring.
Quick question.
Yeah.
Just came to my mind now. In between, I don't know if you know much about it, but anyway, in between New York and London, on these like theater scene, do you see like much difference? Do you think New York is ahead or London is ahead, like Broadway, you know, is everyone's dream to be there and things like this? But I see London already, also there's like loads of musicals and a lot of theater going on, but I don't know what is, do you have like an opinion about it?
I have a lot of opinions. I mean, it's different in some ways because in London you have a lot of film and TV here as well as just theater, and or in New York it's just theater really, so it's quite separated, you know, because if you want to do film and TV then you go to Los Angeles, so I think it's distinct in that way. Yeah, so that was also partially why I moved to London, because I'm interested in film and TV as well. Yeah.
I didn't realize
I think it's very cool. Yeah, I mean the US is such a massive place. Yeah, like it's, and you know, from LA to New York is I think like 10 hours or something like that. Yeah, it's massive. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, in terms of differences within theater, I don't know. You have got like fringe theater in both New York and London.
Oh my gosh, that went so fast.
Wow.
That went so Michelle. Let's quickly talk about Nakama.
Yes.
And we need to play your song.
Yes.
Definitely. Okay. Wow. Should we just play the song? Okay. 18th of September.
Okay.
Well, anyway.
Oh my gosh.
It was a big pleasure to have you down.
Yeah.
You know, I think we can have an extra 2 minutes. Maybe I can speak with the other DJ. But anyway, we have our next Nakama coming up in September. And she's going to be one of the headlines. And I've got the lineup here, but I'm not going to share now. The only thing I'm going to say is tomorrow we're going to post everything.
Yeah.
So if you are interested, if you're following Nakama, tomorrow we have big news, full lineup coming up. And yeah, thank you so much, both of you, for, you know, coming here today, for spending your time. I hope you enjoy. Let's just say, you know, final thanks, and then you can play her tune. And yeah, this was the Nakama Waves. I don't know which edition, but
we're getting there now. Michelle, do you want to shout yourself out and just say maybe your Instagram handle?
Yeah, sure. So my Instagram is Michelle. So MicheleVDBliek. Michelle V. Bliek. I don't know if people will be able to remember that. But Michelle Vanderbleek. I think you can look that up as well.
Awesome.
On Instagram, yeah.
Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
You've been a beautiful guest.
So fun.
And please introduce your song.
So this is my song called Back to Here.
Walking through brambles, through thickets and thorns. See the river as it rambles, our boots already worn. You found me a postcard of that little mountain view. You told me it was mine alone, and I was meant for you. Why, oh, why do the songbirds cry when they've got the whole world upon their wings? Through the birds and the bees and the old pine trees, through the bands and the brooks and the storybooks. Wow, it always leads me right back to you. Under the branches, you have to bend down low, following my footsteps of secrets left untold. Whisper it softly and try to hold on tight. Listen to the memory and we'll surely get it right. Why, oh, why did the songbird cry when his world was nothing but a dream? Through the birds and the bees and the old pine trees, through the bands and the brooks and the storybooks. Wow, it always leads me right back to you. What if I lose my way, get further than I'd ever known? Long ago, I would know. What if I lose my way, get further past the sea, a dream far from me? Through the birds and the bees and the old pine trees, through the bands and the brooks and the storybooks. Whoa, whoa, it always leads me right back to you. It always leads me right back to you. It always leads me right back to you.
Yes, 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 people. So this was the Nakama Wave. The Nakama Waves. Thanks for tuning in. I will see you here in 2 weeks' time. We are here at BMC Radio every other week, always on Tuesdays. And I share the space here with Chelsea, with Leandro, and with Casey. And we always have some guests. So we do 1 hour of music, 1 hour of poetry, talks, interviews, and something else. So yeah, much love to everyone. Thanks for listening. You know, you are the best. Thank you. Bye.